for South Carolina, the sophomore from Simpsonville. And we are underway inside the Carolina Volleyball Center. First attack on the far side for Auburn. No luck there by Akasha Anderson. On the near side, answering back is Riley Whiteside, and Whiteside's getting the crowd riled up for the first points.
Whiteside's not afraid to challenge that block, takes huge rips off the fingertips, and hitting with so much efficiency right now.
Coach Mendoza talked about how Whiteside has the greatest consistency in leadership and personifies that on the floor. On the near side for the Tigers, and Aiken on the board. Belle Zimmerman, the sophomore from Liberty, Missouri.
And exactly what Tom Mendoza wanted to see for South Carolina. He wants this Auburn team to challenge their block. They've had a lot of opponents that have come with a lot more off-speed looks.
The biggest focus for South Carolina in this matchup is trying to slow down the pin hitters and take advantage when Auburn is in their other rotation. Here's a middle attack that goes long, point Tigers.
Nice job, though, South Carolina trying to establish their middles in Abiyanati early on that 31 gap set.
Nabi unable to keep that one in play. Serve from the Tigers, libero. To the near side, Whiteside is blocked, and that goes right over our heads. It's going to be a point for South Carolina.
South Carolina having a lot of success early. That tempo ball to the pin, beating the block of Auburn, able to use it to tool off of.
Block's going to be important in this matchup. South Carolina second in the SEC in blocks per set. From the attack line, not a full attack from the Tigers that time. And the outside attack goes out. Point Tigers. Kiyun Fletcher couldn't keep that one in play.
South Carolina, they'll try and get Fletcher going early on this right side. She's made a huge improvement offensively this season.
Senior from El Dorado, Trinidad and Tobago. And Belle Zimmerman set to serve again.
Great serve.
And sent right back down from the middle. And it's Kendall Kemp, the 6'6 sophomore.
Kemp, great awareness in that front row. Belle Zimmerman, one of the best point scorers from the service line for Auburn. She was ready and up.
Right there, Kemp stinted right down her 80th kill of the season. From the middle for the Gamecocks. No luck there from Anati. Near side, and that is in. Point Tigers, rather out. Point Gamecocks.
You'll see Zimmerman, she loves that cross-court shot. A little bit too far off that sideline around that block.
There is Morgan Carter, the junior defensive specialist on the serve. Libero for the second season, and good misdirection from the Tigers. That time the setter, Jackie Barrett.
And Barrett, it really was her only option. All she could do was punch it over because it was about to be an overpass. It was a tough serve for Morgan Carter.
Coach Crouch talked about how Barrett's been constantly improving throughout the season. He's also been setting faster this year. Akasha Anderson on the serve. The near side, and that is out. Point Tigers, no luck there from Elena Johnston.
You'll notice Akasha Anderson, she is targeting number 20 in white, Riley Whiteside's on the serve.
Well, Anderson has changed up her timing and movement of approach. Now way past understanding and can do it 30 to 40% of the time. Received by Carter. Far side attacks, and what a spike from Fletcher. Point Gamecocks.
South Carolina having a lot of success. They've been in system, doing a nice job on serve receive. It's allowing them to set Fletcher on that right side, and she's completely taking big rips before that double block can get up.
This is where things will switch for the Gamecocks. They run a 6-2 rotation, so keep an eye out for the setters throughout this match. Near side attack, Anderson. Point Tigers.
Great decision by Jackie Barrett on that back set to Anderson. One-on-one block. Kasha Anderson going to kill that ball every time.
Anderson, a sophomore from Reston, Virginia. It's been a sophomore movement this season for the Tigers.
5 sophomores that are starting.
No sophomore slump for Auburn this season. Here's a senior, Chelsea Harmon. Back to serve. Received by Carter. And from the middle, Great way for the Gamecocks to answer back. Ellie Ruprich, the senior.
Gamecocks, they've been able to establish Ruprich and Onati in the middle early, and it's all because their serve receive has been on point on that 31 gap set.
One difference for the Gamecocks, they've had a full week to prepare for this matchup against Auburn, while the Tigers coming off a matchup Friday, that win against Florida.
Tough serve.
Out of system, and an ace puts the Gamecocks within one.
How about the hustle, though, for Auburn? Diving into the stand, Zoe Slaughter.
Putting her body on the line, but Slaughter couldn't get there. Gamecocks gaining some momentum here in the first set. Set by Barrett. Near side attack, Anderson didn't get all of it.
Tough set.
Right sides. Oh, great dig. And a great attack from Barrett. How about the setter getting more involved offensively, attacking rather than setting?
Barrett, she can be a threat when she is in the front row. Great awareness by Jackie Barrett, the one senior on this Auburn squad. Not afraid to just punch it over. She saw that double block wasn't up.
Barrett can attack. She now has 40 kills on the season. The far side, off of Anderson's hands, point Gamecocks.
That back set to the right side is really working well right now for the Gamecocks because it's so quick, and Paris Campbell can get such a big approach that Auburn block can't get up in time.
Campbell Barris, a 6'5 freshman, getting that kill. Here's Ellie Ruprich on the serve. And another ball off of Anderson's hands, and another ace. Tied at 8 for South Carolina.
South Carolina serving really tough today. This was coming off a match against Florida where they had a lot of service errors.
So knotted up at 8. Can the Gamecock get a lead? The serve by Ruprich. Barrett to the far side. Nice dig. And it's going to result in a point for the Tigers, retaking the lead.
Auburn, they haven't been in system a lot so far in this first set, but when they are, like we just saw, they want to go to those pins in 0.88 seconds, and that's extremely tough to be able to get a block up against.
Tigers head coach Brent Crouch talked about how the team has gotten back on the good foot after their matchups last week, a loss against Arkansas, but a win against Georgia. White sides, near side, point Gamecocks.
Nice adjustment by Riley Whitesides. The double block was up, but able to find the low seam in that block. Watch the shoot set, about antenna height, and just able to sneak it inside the hands of Auburn, which hadn't quite sealed the net.
One of Whiteside's biggest challenges this season has been on the offensive side, but has gotten better lately. Now with 3 kills for the Gamecocks in set 1. Bump set by Barrett. Anderson swings, and that is out. Point Gamecocks, they take the lead 10-9.
Anderson, you can see she's trying to find the high hands of that South Carolina block, but just hasn't quite been able to place that ball low enough, sail past that end line.
That's been the biggest challenge so far for Anderson in this first set. Hasn't been able to receive the ball well. She does that time, but a free ball for the Gamecocks. There's going to be a violation. Point South Carolina starting to gain some momentum.
That violation on Sarah Morden. This was the big question mark coming into this match. How was Auburn going to respond coming off arguably one of their biggest wins in program history at Florida?
It's all about keeping that consistency going throughout the weekend. Great dig by Carter. Whiteside swings, got it through the blockers. Point Gamecocks, and this arena is fired up.
Whiteside's just a cannon of an arm, totally broken play, but still able to just take a powerful rip into that block, and with that force, able to tool off of it.
South Carolina 4-0 run, 6-1 overall lately. The service error will snap that run for the Tigers. What needs to change for Auburn here in set 1?
All starts with first ball contact and serve receive. That back row has to steady themselves so that they can get in system.
She head coach Brent Crouch in his 4th season with the program. Here's an attack on the far side by Fletcher. No, great save. From the middle, violation on the Gamecocks, point Tigers. So that Onati attack won't count.
A double contact. Right idea, though, to go to the middle in transition.
Tigers within 1. Rivero, Sarah Morton on the serve. Another sophomore. Low reception by Carter. Whiteside, what a spike! point Gamecocks.
It's a fast tempo right now for South Carolina to the pins. It's so quick. And Riley Whiteside's just teeing off on that block.
Right out of the gate, you can tell Coach Mendoza wanted Whiteside to set the tone in this first set. 5 kills and 6 attacks for the senior.
Another out-of-system ball for Auburn.
Anderson gets it over. Bump set by Carter. And that's going to be another point for the Gamecocks. Johnson gets that one through.
South Carolina's serve receive has been so on point. It's allowed them to be in system. It's allowed them to run at tempo to the pins.
Whiteside's on the serve. Near side poke. Oh, great save by the Gamecocks. Free ball for the Tigers. Sent over by Fletcher from the middle, and Auburn responds.
Kendall Kemp, that's the first swing we've seen from her in the middle today. And it's because Auburn has not been in system very much.
And Coach Crouch talked about how challenging it can be for Kemp to move at 6'6", moving laterally, but gets the job done from the middle for the Tigers.
But you have to utilize Kendall Kemp because she's such an advantage with her 6'6" height.
Near side Johnson, no. Barrett setting up Anderson, found space in the back row. It's a 1-point set.
We'll see if that's when can get Akasha Anderson going. Nice job going cross court against this double block and all that open space behind Morgan Carter.
A tight-knit first set here in the Carolina Volleyball Center. Ball set to Johnson, denied, and it's Kendall Kemp from the middle.
It all started with the serve for Auburn. Belle Zimmerman, the top server on this Tigers team, gets South Carolina out of system. It allows that double block to get set up and turn those hands and press over back into the court.
And that's where the height of Kemp really benefits the Tigers from the middle. Oh, from the middle. No luck there from the Gamecocks.
We're gonna have a challenge.
Mendoza going straight for the challenge card.
He's looking for it.
The play still goes. Anderson blocked, but it's out. Point Tigers. And it seems like Coach Mendoza is indeed going to challenge. He got up from the get-go.
He was up right away. He was trying to find the green card, but he doesn't know where it is. He's looking for it.
A lot of technology here on this table. But it seems like the card may have fell in between, but nonetheless, this will be a challenge from Coach Mendoza in his 6th season as head coach for the Gamecocks. You know, he talked about how in the last match was a 4-set loss to Florida. The takeaway is they were doing things they're capable of, but got to do it more consistently. So there you see that hit underneath the net from Kemp, and that could be what Coach Mendoza is challenging there. What do you see, Kelly?
Yeah, he was probably looking at number 8, Kendall Kemp, whether she was into the net or possibly whether there was 4 contacts. Now keep in mind the officials can look at multiple things on the replay. He was pretty adamant though. Yeah, net violation. So it's likely they're looking at number 8 in blue, Kendall Kemp.
Have a look here.
And right there, it doesn't look like the net's moving yet. Looks to me like the net didn't move until that ball made contact with the lower part of the net.
Our officials for this matchup, Joshua Hall and Darren Clark. Jamal Brown is our line judge alongside Cody Hilton.
I just don't see the net moving from that angle. It's not moving till right there when the ball hits it. And it's going to be the Tigers' point.
So Coach Mendoza went deep to try to...
Kind of more out of system than we saw in the opening 5 or 10 points.
Auburn hitting at 4-12 so far to start this match. Akasha Anderson leading the way with 3 kills. An ace right in front of Carter.
Belle Zimmerman, the best server on this Auburn team. She hits with major pace, comes at you low 40 miles per hour, such a flat serve, and that just dives.
Zimmerman had 20 aces entering this match today. And getting the first for the Gamecocks with a service error.
Auburn's going to have service errors because Coach Crouch, he wants them to get as close to the top of that net serving as this Tigers team can and be super aggressive.
So Carter back to serve for the Gamecocks. And she is long. Service errors, you don't want to have them pick up consistently throughout this match, but they'll play a big factor down the road.
No doubt. And for South Carolina, Riley Whiteside's right now carrying this offense with 5 kills. I'd love to see more players get involved across that front row.
Served by Anderson. Near side, Johnson blocked. Out of play though, point Gamecocks.
South Carolina, they're taking advantage on that left side of that Auburn block. The fact their hands are not pressed completely and flexed down, and it's allowing Elena Johnson to tool off of the block of Auburn.
Johnson, the sophomore from Kershaw, South Carolina, had 70 kills entering this match. Barrett to the middle. Sent right back to Tigers' side. And another block, but it goes out. Madison Shear getting her first kill of the day.
Really going to be important that Madison Shear get going for Auburn. She has been such a difference maker coming off that career high against Florida, hitting 667, 14 kills. Her and Akasha Anderson pack a major 1-2 punch.
Just to put that in perspective, she had 14 kills and 18 attacks, just 2 errors in that win over Florida Friday night. The far side attack, point Gamecocks, and that's Campbell Paris, the 6'5" freshman.
Campbell Paris, nice big approach and taking full advantage. That block had not close to the antenna, big seam in it, and Campbell taking full advantage.
A tight-knit first set that we have. And the float serve. Barrett to the middle, and Auburn continuing to work through the middle, and this time it's their graduate transfer, Kyla Swanson.
Auburn's really steadied their serve receive, and it's allowing the Tigers to run their middles and set that quick ball to Swanson, even around the block. Such a high percentage look.
Always good to have a graduate leader when you have a team full of young players. Bump set.
Ball.
Whiteside sends it over. On the attack, point Tigers. Belle Zimmerman runs in.
I love the set choice by Jackie Barrett, the senior. She's an experienced member of this Auburn team going on the back set, and that block of South Carolina hadn't quite finished closing.
South Carolina using their first timeout. It is a 20-17 lead for the Auburn Tigers here on ESPNU.
Belle is normally the starting right side, but she's been out with an ankle injury, so Belle Zimmerman has filled in brilliantly on that right side.
It was on the right side against Georgia as well, and when she's serving, she is on. Auburn dealing with a couple of injuries out of the South Carolina timeout. Whitesides answers back. Great dig from Anderson, but it's a violation, point Gamecocks.
Auburn's had a couple net violations so far that have led to Gamecock points, but even if you didn't have the net violation, Riley Whiteside's that tempo ball so hard to defend.
Whitesides has played clean in this first set. That was her 6th kill and 7 attacks. Barrett setting up near side, the block, and it's a 1-point set yet again.
Whiteside's getting it done with her defense too. The smallest blocker out there in South Carolina's front court. The solo stuff, nonetheless, against Madison Shear.
Anderson receives. Barrett gets one to Shear, and that time Madison Shear connects. Point Tigers.
Shear so effective, reads the block so well, had a giant hole in the seam of that block. And the efficiency that she continues to hit with, we talk about a major maturation from her freshman season.
It's so unique because Coach Crouch talked about that she's in the second stage of her learning phase, trying to make the approach go from slow to fast and small to big. Another serve off the tape. Gamecocks recover, free ball for the Tigers. Far side, Anderson! Point Tigers.
Anderson really starting to find her rhythm now. The placement much better. We saw her with a couple of attack errors early.
Can take out South Carolina in this first serve. First class of the day for the Tigers. from the middle, and that's how the Gamecocks respond. What an attack.
Perfect job. Morgan Carter digging that serve receive right to target, allow South Carolina to run their middles and get Avi Anadi involved. We haven't called her name since early in this first set.
Anadi working alongside Ellie Ruprich as the middle blockers for the Gamecock side. 2-point set. Served by Kimmy Thompson. Great up by Anderson. She'll attack as well. Dug out by Whitesides. Far side! And it's a point for the Tigers.
Just a hitting error by Fletcher. Had a great look against that block. Just hit a little bit low.
So no look there from Kiyun Fletcher. See Coach Mendoza having a word with the official. Noted just trying to have a quick conversation with the ref. Not going to pull out a second challenge card in this first set. Oh, really?
He is going to pull out. He's going to pull out the challenge that there was a touch. He kind of went back and forth about it for a second.
Have you ever seen a coach use both his challenge cards in the first set of the game?
No, but in the case of this match, this first set, it's a 3-point game, and getting that point back would be huge.
It's all about setting the tone. When you have 25th ranked Auburn Tigers come in also for South Carolina trying to snap a 5-game losing streak and win their first match in conference. So when you're trying to get that first win, sometimes you may do things that are out of the ordinary.
In South Carolina, they're just looking for that first SEC win. And keep in mind too, Danny, before that Florida match, they had been on the road for 7 straight matches. So trying to even things out here in their schedule, getting home. This is a tough place to play. You look at, it's packed in here. The ceilings are low. Whole different environment.
So this time the call gets overturned. Here's the full serve here.
Good challenge. Good challenge by Tom Mendoza.
So he gets that challenge back as well going forward.
So just a 1-point first set here.
From the middle blocked. Morton, bump set, the attack finding the back row. Point Tigers.
Zimmerman doing a really nice job of just going inside that block. They were set up closer to the antenna. She's able to go cross court and perfectly place it in zone 1. Zimmerman,
her 4th kill for the Tigers. Morton back to serve for Auburn. Set up by Thompson. Fletcher attacks, and she gets the Gamecocks fired up.
Every time South Carolina has gone to that back set to the right side, whether it's Paris Campbell or Fletcher in that case, they've been extremely successful catching the giant hole in the seam of that Auburn block.
Whiteside serves, and it's a service error. Set point Tigers.
It's just a super costly time to have that service error.
Always can be costly. That was the 3rd for the Gamecocks in the first set. Set point Auburn. Received by Carter in the overpass. An easy kill for Akasha Anderson. The Tigers take set 1, 25-22.
Bella Zimmerman, her tough serving, closing out this first set for Auburn on the overpass.
She's back in the mix as well. And even libero Sarah Morton had a shoulder injury that missed a good bit of time throughout the year too.
And defensive specialist Fallon Lanham, who is the 2nd best passer on this team, she's still out. She's had a knee injury and has been out since the middle of September. So you still have 2 key pieces on this Auburn squad missing. That's what's most impressive about what the Tigers have done is they've had to constantly shuffle lineups, and the efficiency they've been able to have, all the wins, the 13 wins so far in this season. Super impressive. It's scary to think how good they could be once they get everybody back.
Well, not even that. I think the most unique thing is that it's been the sophomore leading the way attacking-wise. Akasha Anderson, Belle Zimmerman, and Madison Shear all in their 2nd year with the Tigers. So we begin set 2 inside the Carolina Volleyball Center. Morgan Carter receives it in the first attack by Fletcher to the back.
What a dig.
By Anabi, excuse me. Whitesides keeps it alive. She'll attack and poke from the far side. Bump set attack by Anderson, and Auburn gets the first point of the set.
Anderson starting to find hands now on that block. Nice job just going off the fingertips. As you see, look at Auburn's record, 8-0 when hitting 300 or better. On pace for that today.
And the Tigers hit 387 in their win Friday at Florida. Or against Florida, I should say. Near side, Fletcher denied. Still in play from the middle, Anabi. Point Gamecocks.
Auburn block, though, they're touching a lot of balls. Nice job, though, South Carolina in transition of running to their middle, Anabi Anadi. Just on that quick ball and just one blocker up, able to go right around.
Whiteside's on the serve. Far side tip. Oh, great up by Fletcher. Free ball turns into an error. Point Tigers.
One thing we're starting to see with this Auburn team, they're going to some tip shots, which we just saw all power in that first set.
Going with a little more finesse this time around. More tactical approach here for the Tigers here. Morton jump serving. Just got it over. Diving dig. Turns into an ace. Auburn rolling 3-1 to start.
This Auburn team spent so much time at practice on their serve, hitting with pace. They want to be in the high 30 miles per hour, and they want to hit super flat, about an inch over that net, ideally.
Coach Crouch, the theme for this season is excellence is a habit. And South Carolina being able to get one through. Elena Johnson with the kill.
Good to see Elena Johnson take a big rep. That left side, that second outside hitter spot has sort of been up for grabs between her and Lauren McCutcheon.
We actually haven't called Lauren McCutcheon's name yet in this match. Has yet to enter in for the Gamecocks. From the middle and entering back is Kendall Kemp for the Tigers.
Kemp on that 31 gap set, and keep in mind, she has such a high contact point at 6'6", and that's coming from a 6'2" setter. So hard to block that, not only because it's a middle, but because she's so tall.
And trying to get Kemp more involved, because when you have a 6'6" middle, it's going to make a big difference if you're Auburn. Service error. Couldn't get it over the net. Bell Zimmerman that time.
And Bell Zimmerman, that's been a big point-scoring rotation for Auburn so far in this match.
The Tigers' second service error today. So here's Claire Wilson back in the serve for the Gamecocks. Barrett to Anderson on the attack, rolls off the tape. Morton with the bump set. Anderson runs in. Oh, great up in the back by Whitesides. Johnson swings, dug out by Morton. High bump set from Kemp. Anderson, no. Carter setting up Paris. No. Johnson swings, blocked. Point Tigers.
A complete wall at the net by Jackie Barrett and Kendall Kemp doing a really nice job shooting those hands over low, flexing downward. Watch how dominant this block is. Great job, Barrett, of contorting her body back into the inner part of the court to turn back the South Carolina squad.
Jackie Barrett can do a little bit of everything. We've seen her get some kills in the first set, now getting a block here in set two. Bump set to Johnson, denied, point Tigers.
This Auburn block has come alive in this second set, and it all starts with the tough serving of Akasha Anderson.
Now you're starting to see Auburn gain some momentum here. I mean, what an attack. Or block, I should say. Once again, Jackie Barrett. Anderson serves, and that's a service error.
You forget with this Auburn squad, 5 of their starters are just sophomores.
And the thing, already 13-3 this year. They gained some serious momentum after that win on Friday against Florida. Barrett, and that's going to be an error. Violation on the Gamecocks. Auburn continuing the roll. 7-4 lead.
South Carolina got a little bit too greedy because that was a super tight ball to the net. Jackie Barrett trying to rescue it. You got to give Auburn a chance to rescue it before you touch it if you're South Carolina.
If you're Tom Mendoza, how do you stop the bleeding?
Starts with service. That first ball contact has to be better so you can run those tempo balls to the pins.
Chelsea Harmon on the serve for the Tigers. These low receptions to Carter's way. Whiteside denied! And this time, Kyla Swanson the rejection.
And the other adjustment South Carolina hitters are going to have to make is they're going to have to consider starting to swing line. That cross-court look is being taken away by this Auburn block.
It is all defense for the Tigers. That is their third block in this second set. Carter can't keep it in, an ace. Notice how Auburn's been focusing their serves to attack the libero Carter. Way to clean it up here out of the timeout. Received by Hannah Bissler. The attack by Campbell Paris, no good. Whitesides, got it! And that's one way to respond. You go to your leader in Riley Whitesides.
Riley Whitesides, the energy player on the South Carolina team, in a really smart shot by Whitesides, going to the off-speed look, just rolling it over the top of that block, and the off-speed look has worked in this second set.
Auburn has sophomores, but South Carolina has senior leadership in Riley Whitesides from the middle, and Auburn responds.
Just when you think you have this Auburn offense figured out with a lot of offense going to the pins, they come at you with that middle look from Kyla Swanson.
Meanwhile, Auburn hitting .444 in the second set, .421 in the match. The jump serve by Jackie Barrett. Blocked on the near side, and it's Madison Shear.
This Auburn block, reading that serve receive so well. South Carolina out of system. The ball clearly going to the right side, and that Auburn block is up and ready.
Tigers starting to run away, leading by 6. Barrett the serve again. Off the tape, great up. Whitesides attacks in the back row, point Gamecocks. And it seems like Riley Whiteside's the only one to get this offense going for South Carolina.
Riley Whiteside, she just brings that confidence to this Gamecocks team. When you are struggling, you set her on that left side, and she's been so dependable in bailing out the Gamecocks offensively.
Who needs to step up and help Whitesides here?
This back row, serve, receive.
Overpass. On the near side, and a violation on the Tigers, point Gamecocks. Kimmy Thompson on the serve again. Off the tape, and back-to-back aces. Now the nice up in front by Swanson, but nonetheless, South Carolina is rolling here.
Yeah, that's one of those lucky bounces that you get at home. It's a great job, and a nice effort, too, from Auburn, trying to get to that ball.
Well, Coach Mendoza talked about how important it was to be back at home. Oh, great save. Free ball for the Tigers. Barrett. Far side attack. What the sound Madison Shear made on that swing.
Shear just smoked that ball, and tremendous setting choice, too, from Jackie Barrett on that back set, recognizing where that block was. It hadn't released in the middle yet, and so it allowed Auburn to have a one-on-one look on that right side for Madison Shear.
That was a beautiful cross shot. Even took Shear's jewelry off on there as that. Fletcher gets that one for South Carolina. She's fired up.
Fletcher, she needs to be one of the go-to players in this South Carolina offense. That's something the Gamecocks have really worked on as of late, is trying to set more tempo balls to that right side.
They're trying to do that here in set 2, starting to gain some momentum. Here's a serve from Riley Whitesides. Near side Anderson, and she's denied. Abianati is fired up for South Carolina.
Really great read by the South Carolina block. A shoot set to the pin, and that block of Anati and Fletcher, they're up and ready to turn it back. Great job flexing those hands, pressing down.
There's a reason why she was fired up. That was South Carolina's first block of the set. Anderson tries to answer back, and that's going to go out. It's a 1-point set.
You see, though, South Carolina getting back in this second set with their defense. It's been the blocking a couple points ago and just making scrappy defensive plays.
3-0 run for the Gamecocks, and they tie it up here. Barrett. Anderson swings, pins that one to the blockers. Nice save up front. And how about that? We are tied at 12 off the kill.
Kian Fletcher, she had been quiet in that first set, just one kill. All of a sudden, up to 5 kills in this second set. Nice job just going to the inside of that block and taking a big rip, cross-court look.
Kian Fletcher, it's a 7-1 run for the Gamecocks. Oh, great save by Anati as well. 3-ball for the Tigers. Shear the tip. Correction, Zimmerman couldn't get that one through. Johnson off the hands. Barrett to Anderson. Stopped in the back by Whitesides. Fletcher. Oh, nice pancake.
Still playing.
They're still playing. What a rally. From the middle, slam, dunk, Anati.
This is one of those gut check times, too, because it is super loud in here. Going to the middle in transition. Do exactly what you've been doing. Scrappy play defensively. Go after those big time ups. Seize on this momentum. Seize on this crowd, too, the energy in it.
Out of the Auburn timeout. And a block on the far side. The energy continues. Elena Johnson with the rejection.
Really great eye work from Elena Johnson. Perfectly timed that jump because Auburn got a huge approach on that right side look, and Johnson just able to turn it completely back.
Right side's off the tape. Bump set by Morton. Anderson swings, dug out in the back. Fletcher, no. Send back the Gamecocks' way. Thompson setting up Fletcher a second time, and a block. This time from Swanson finds the back row. Point Tigers.
Swanson and Anderson doing a nice job. They shot their hands over a little bit lower to that net, which makes it so that South Carolina can't tool that block.
This is also a great opportunity for the young players to fight their way back in a deficit on the road in enemy territory. Thompson blocked. Kemp, good job up front. Johnson, no. Bump set. Over to Anderson. Dug out by Carter. Fletcher denied. Point Tigers, and we're tied at 14.
I thought I was going to maybe get a chance to bump that ball.
You always got to be ready on the sides.
I'm ready. You don't worry. I got you. If
All right,
it comes over
I'm
this way.
relying on you to keep us protected over here.
How can you not, based on this energy in here?
From the middle, Anati. And the Gamecocks retake the lead.
Nice job, South Carolina, being able to establish their middle. Abia Anati has been much more involved in this second set. Anati, you get that one-on-one block when you're able to run things through your middle.
Barrett on the tip to Anderson, dug out by Johnson. Fletcher swings, overpass, sent back over. Point Gamecocks.
Great front row awareness right now by South Carolina. Ellie Ruprecht just depositing that ball back over. Quick reflexes. And that's your job as a middle. You got to be aware at all times off of overpasses.
Well, Ruprecht was ready that time. South Carolina leading by 2. The tip by Anderson, dug out from the attack line. Johnson. Point Gamecocks.
Elena Johnson, she's been swinging fearlessly into that double block of Auburn.
In this second set, both teams have slowed down a bit. But both teams hitting above 270 in the match. Out of the timeout to serve by Morgan Carter. Far side attack, and that's how Auburn responds. Belle Zimmerman gets her 5th kill.
It's really great recognition, reading that opposing block, Zimmerman was going to have a one-on-one block on that right side because the middle had not released and able to take full advantage.
These are games where sophomores can really take it to the next level. I mean, before this match, Zimmerman's most kills in a conference game was 6. She has 5 today. And South Carolina responds, and it's Johnson.
Lena Johnson having a coming out party in the second set. Normally it's Riley Whiteside bringing the power, but Johnson has had some major tee-offs on that left side.
Seeing the youth really take over in this match overall, Kelly.
There's so much young talent for both of these teams. Johnson just a sophomore too.
Claire Wilson serves for the Gamecocks. Running in is Zimmerman, but that is out.
I like the look, though, of Jackie Barrett trying to establish. That was an area that right back, they call it a D set to the right back area offensively. Auburn able to have a lot of success against Florida.
Gamecocks starting to run away with this lead. From the middle, going to get a full attack. The joust still in play. Barrett to Anderson, dug out by Carter. Inside the attack line, point Gamecocks. Campbell Paris gets the kill.
South Carolina, they're seeing something in that zone 1 area that they've been able to take advantage from the right side on those cross-court looks. Paris Campbell doing a nice job taking what the defense is giving her, and they're giving her a huge hole in that block.
5-point lead, the serve by Wilson again. Anderson pinned it through the blockers, point Tigers.
So tough to defend that ball. 0.88 seconds to the pin. That is so fast.
That is incredible. Anderson starting to get more in rhythm. That was her 7th kill tonight. Taking a lot of swings already, 24 through 2 sets.
High volume for Akasha Anderson.
From the middle for the Gamecocks, and it stays in.
Middles have been a big factor for South Carolina in this second set. Anani, and that time Ellie Ruprecht putting down some power on that 31.
Anna Bissler in the serve for South Carolina. Barrett to Anderson, the tip, or rather that was Shear. Whiteside block, point Tigers.
A double block, doing a nice job with their hands, the placement, shooting them low over the net. Auburn, how about this, up to 7 blocks. 6 of them in this second set.
I mean, the blocking is what started set 2 for the Tigers. But since then, South Carolina has really just taken it to another level, elevating their performance in set 2. An ace for the Tigers, Chelsea Harmon. That's the 4th for the Tigers tonight.
Chelsea Harmon, she went on a little bit of a serving run that first set against Florida. She's a big factor and allows Auburn, they don't have to sub their middle at the service line when she's in.
Timeout called by the Gamecocks. And they will talk things over. They lead 21-18 in set 2. This has already been an exciting, this incredible action inside the Carolina Volleyball Center, feeding everyone with tremendous conference play out of the timeout. Point Tigers, no luck there on the Paris attack.
Net violation. Or no, antenna, I'm sorry. She hit the antenna.
Auburn down but not out on a 3-0 run.
Another tough serve.
Overpass, sent over, back to the Tigers. Barrett misdirection, no. From the middle, blocked. Kyla Swanson was ready for it. It's back to a 1-point set.
And really just great court awareness in that front row with Chelsea Harmon at the service line, serving absolute bullets, targeting Riley Whitesides. You see the early denial, but then Swanson putting the home in the winner.
Almost an ace. Free ball for the Tigers. Oh, nice pancake, but it's a kill. And the Gamecocks a 2-point lead.
Really important South Carolina got out of that rotation. Whitesides was having a hard time passing that ball. Scrappy defense again by South Carolina getting it done.
Coach Mendoza making a few rotations. This is Elizabeth McElveen.
First time we've seen her.
5th set on the year. Coach Mendoza going deep in his bench. Whitesides, no, dug out by Morton. And Shear gets involved for the Tigers.
Smart shot by Madison Shear. That right side blocker hadn't quite sealed her right hand to the net. Shear just tooling off the top of it.
Tigers back within 1. Here's Jackie Barrett. Barrett with 18 assists so far in the match. And that is out. Service error, point Gamecocks. But Coach Crouch is challenging it.
Coach Crouch, he's looking for the. It's the side we're on.
It's the side that we're
Coach
on.
Crouch can't find the green card either.
Somebody.
I like the challenge. You have nothing to lose at this point. It's a big swing. So you're trying to see, did any part of that ball hit that white end line? And officials will slow this down frame by frame. If it clips any part of that white line,
Ooh, that's close.
It's tough from that angle.
That is tough.
But again, the line judge right there, right over the ball.
Well, it's a quick challenge. Turns out to be a service error, so Coach Crouch will lose the challenge.
Oh, what hustle though. Morgan Carter nearly into the band.
Water shaking up a bit. And the Tigers now within 1, 23-22. Here's Paige Diebolt, junior from Watertown, Minnesota, on the serve. Service error, set point Gamecocks.
It's just one of those times as a coach, you just want to rip your hair out.
This place has become unglued. Set point Gamecocks. Anderson, no. Pump set, and South Carolina takes set 2. The attack by Elena Johnson gives them the win 25-22, and we're tied a set apiece.
Elena Johnson putting the...
Can the Gamecocks keep that level of consistency going into set 3, or will Auburn make the adjustments they need to make? Third set begins. Good block up front by the Gamecocks. Anderson on the attack tonight again. Morton setting up on the near side to Zimmerman. Whitesides. And the Gamecocks get the first point. What a rally to start set 3.
That scrappy defense again. Riley Whitesides finishing it off with a big cannon of a rip.
And Whitesides have been the driving force, now in double-digit kills today. Thompson serving. Running in the poke, Zimmerman. Violation, point South Carolina.
And it looks like Zimmerman actually crossed the line under the net. Tough serve.
Free ball for the Gamecocks. Poke from the middle, nice pancake by Morton. Anderson. We have a violation on the Tigers, or rather on the Gamecocks, point Tigers.
Net violation.
Coach Mendoza not going to use a challenge card here. Got to be careful when to save that final challenge that you have. From the middle, a naughty no. Step by Morton to Anderson, off the hands, point Tigers.
Anderson, really nice job finding that left hand of Abiyanati, hadn't sealed it to the net, able to go off of the fingertips of it.
You're looking at a battle, and also you got to remember, South Carolina well rested, had over a week to prepare. Fletcher, point Gamecocks.
Fletcher, she's been the difference on that right side for South Carolina in this second set. Auburn hasn't been able to get up a double block against her.
I mean, overall, Fletcher is a dual threat, attacking and blocking. Coach Mendoza says all about her hand placement. And the placement for the Tigers not working out. An ace for the Gamecocks and a 4-2 start.
South Carolina, they have served tough today, especially in this second set. They have gotten Auburn out of system. They spent a lot of time today on it at serve and pass when you and I were here.
Jump serve from Whitesides. Over, almost an overpass. Stays on the Tigers side, now sent over. Johnson, got it.
Johnson, we've seen her go with a lot of cross-court looks, but taking what the defense gives her in that line shot, she's really solidified herself in this offense. That block hadn't close to the antenna. Smart shot by Johnson.
3-0 run for the Gamecocks after the 2-2 tie.
Another tough serve.
Still in system. Oh, free ball. Did not work out from Morton. Some miscommunication there, colliding with her teammate. And with that, Brent Crouch wants to call a timeout. South Carolina on a roll in set 3. A 6-2 step back and learn from Hampton, and it was a great learning experience, and she's done a great job in her junior year right now for the Gamecocks. Out of the timeout, and that's going to be a point for South Carolina. Auburn still trying to figure things out. 5-0 run.
Auburn, a lot of hitting errors in this third set so far.
Auburn hitting in the negatives. 2 kills, 3 errors. Anderson.
Just got the
Point Tigers.
right hand of Keon Fletcher. Finding the fingertips well. Really important to try and get Akasha Anderson back in a rhythm.
Anderson now in double-digit kills, 10. He's already taken a lot of swings, 30. It's been Anderson and Zimmerman, the top 2 attackers for the Tigers in this match. Fletcher swings, blocked. Auburn finding some momentum, back-to-back points.
It's a really nice read by that Auburn block of understanding that offense was going to Fletcher on the right side, able to shoot those hands across.
In terms of blocking, Auburn's leading 10-3 to South Carolina. Thompson set up to Johnson. Oh, great dig by Libero. And Morton, another block. Point Gamecocks.
It's a really nice job. Abiyanati, who's become a force on defense at the net. Great job putting up an absolute wall, pressing over, and turning back that Auburn look.
Along with Anati, you saw Keon Fletcher there as well, defensively for the block. Service error, though, for the Gamecocks. And it's moments like that, Kelly, where if you want to go on a run, you can't have those errors to stop your progression.
Especially when all the momentum is on your side. Everything going right for you.
This is where, when you have the home crowd advantage, you have to take advantage of that and really start to carry your momentum. Anderson serves off the tape. Fletcher! Point Gamecocks!
It's that hand placement of Kendall Kemp that has to be slightly adjusted against the big rip that Fletcher is bringing.
Gamecock fans continue to get fired up inside the Carolina Volleyball Center. South Carolina 4-2 at home this year. Barrett. Here's Shear on the attack, and she gets one through. Haven't really seen much of Madison Shear, but when she gets the ball, she's effective. 6 kills and 8 attacks.
Madison Shear, nice job. Just finds the hand so well on that right side block.
I mean, Shear had a career high in hit percentage at .667. Only took 18 swings, tied with Belle Zimmerman in that win over Florida. Served by Chelsea Harmon. Service error.
Keep in mind, Harmon, too, had such success first set from the service line.
And now it's been the biggest. Is there a difference here? What needs to change if you're Auburn?
Auburn, you got to settle down. Settle down at the service line, and then the serve receive, again, has to be better so you can run your offense. Because right now it's being predictable. You're going to the pins. It's allowing South Carolina to set up their block.
Anderson from the attack line. Good dig by Carter. From the middle, poked. Still in play, Ruprecht. Whiteside's no. We'll go on the far side to Campbell Paris. Point Gamecocks.
I like the decision to spread that offense all the way to the other side, to the right side. That block of Kyla Swanson couldn't get there to close in time. And watch Swanson, she goes to close but can't get there in time.
Heads up for the cameraman there. Shear again, the cross shot off the tape and out. Point Gamecocks.
And Auburn right now in this third set becoming a little bit undone by their own hitting errors.
Well, Auburn's going to use their final timeout.
The team lightly, especially playing at home in this environment.
The Tigers trying to find some momentum from their win on Friday. They are out of timeouts in set 3. Akasha Anderson gets the kill.
That's another factor in this gym. We haven't seen it come into play too much yet, but it's a low ceiling. So you can play that ball. If it hits the ceiling, you can play it if it's on your side. But it shot down in a weird spot. Ellie Ruprecht trying to run it down.
Makes for an intimate atmosphere here inside the Carolina Volleyball Center for sure. Oh, the overpass, sit back for the Tigers. They're finding some momentum. And Kyla Swanson once again.
Good awareness by Swanson, not trying to do too much off of that overpass.
Received by the Gamecocks on the attack far side, Campbell.
That right side offense, when South Carolina's been able to run at Paris Campbell, Fletcher, having a lot of success because Auburn hasn't typically been able to get a double block that's closed in time.
I feel like Paris Campbell's been the X factor for the Gamecocks in this match. Shear getting more involved, her 7th kill.
Well, there's that fast tempo offense. We haven't seen it in a while because Auburn hasn't been in system.
Coach Crouch talking about going from slow to fast, and that right there is a prime example. Looking for more of that throughout this third set. Zoe Slaughter, the sophomore from Decatur, Texas, serving. And she gets a service error. That's a 7 for Auburn. And Kelly, we saw how service errors can hurt the Tigers. I mean, how do you clean that up?
You got to keep serving aggressively. You're going to try, you're aiming for just about an inch over the top of that net. So Coach Crouch isn't going to tell him to back off.
Zimmerman. No, dug out by Kenny Thompson. Fletcher blocked. Bump set by Carter. Whiteside swings. Great dig in the back by Morton. Whiteside again connects. Point Gamecocks.
Whiteside, she's always up and ready. She's always in the right position, always knows the right swing to go to, and just great awareness of realizing I can put this ball down.
And that's the reason why she is one of the leaders on this South Carolina side. Morton sets up Anderson, dug out by Thompson. Whiteside's on the near side, no, dug out by Barrett. Inside Zimmerman, out. We got a touch, point Tigers.
The cross-court look, it's been open for Auburn when they've been able to go to it on that right side. Been able to slice it inside that block. Block taking away the line, so you take what the defense gives you.
Set up for Fletcher. Dug out by Barrett again. Morton calls for it on the bump set. No true attack there by Zimmerman. Anderson off the hands of the back row. The setup for Whiteside. Barrett runs in. Anderson swings.
Not a touch.
Point Tigers.
Auburn's been able to find, in about the last 5 points, they've been able to find the hands a lot better of the South Carolina block.
It does seem like Auburn is starting to find their momentum, but still down by 4 in this third set. We're tied at 1 set apiece. This set to take momentum. Fletcher.
Ooh,
Oh, what
to
a
the
dig
face.
by Morton. Inside Zimmerman, a free ball, but a double contact. Point Gamecocks.
And that was because Bill Zimmerman had to take that second contact.
Even though South Carolina has lost their last 5 games and still looking for their first win in conference play, they lead the all-time series against the Tigers. The 50th matchup today. Barrett to Anderson. Out.
Another hitting error. Again, it's been the attack errors for Auburn. Just has not been able to get in any sort of offensive rhythm in this third set.
You can tell that Coach Crouch is going to Anderson to get the Tigers out of this jam. She has 5 kills this set, but also 6 attacking errors overall.
Overpass.
Almost. Bump set to Fletcher. Blocked. Whitesides couldn't keep it up. Point Tigers.
Nice job. Kendall Kemp, Akasha Anderson getting a double block up.
What's been the biggest difference here from the Gamecocks in set 3?
It's the scrappiness again, and big factor too. Third set has been the service line. South Carolina has served tough.
Service error though, Kelly.
Number 8.
You got to limit those going forward.
Number 8, and look, you're going to have service errors if you're Auburn because you serve super aggressive. It's been when the service errors have been. There's a big difference.
I mean, 8 midway through the third set. It's not the number that you want. Near side, and that's one way to answer back Bell Zimmerman. But overall, Kelly, the Tigers have had 4 service errors in this set trying to clean things up.
Half of your service errors have come in this third set and come at costly times when you were starting to get a little momentum.
You said it was a matter of when. Well, you gave up 4 points.
Yeah,
you
4
take those
free
away,
points.
I mean, you're looking at a 1-point set again. Off the tape received by Carter. Johnson denied. Whiteside the bump set. Back to Johnson. Still in play. From the attack line, Anderson. Dug out by Thompson. Fletcher. No. Far side the tip by Shear. Barrett goes to Anderson, the poke. Fletcher the dig. Johnson the attack. What a rally. Shear swings long, but it's a touch. Point Tigers.
Thought maybe Tom Mendoza might challenge that initially. Looked like he was questioning it. Shear doing a nice job, though, of finding the hands on this block. Just going in on that block, had it close to the antenna.
A lot of the South Carolina timeout, and they'll be back on ESPNU this Wednesday against Georgia.
There's an adjustment. Akasha Anderson short serving that ball.
Any way to get points on the board.
Now we got cleanup, 10-foot line.
What aisle would that be on, 10-foot line? Aisle 1?
Riley Whiteside's just doing everything out here.
Yeah. True testament of leadership. Anderson serving again. And then almost another ace, and it is another ace.
Akasha Anderson, that ball is just short serve, first of all. So it's hitting right around that 10-foot line, but it is just dying.
Now a 4-0 run for the Tigers. Anderson, another serve, that time Whiteside receives. Poked by Fletcher, there was a touch, point Gamecocks.
Really smart shot by Kean Fletcher because that set super tight to the net. Not a lot of options there. She couldn't take a big rip because of where the antenna was. All she could do is tip.
We see there, got touched by Madison Shear at the very end. Served by Wilson. From the middle. And once again, the blocking, the middle's up front, getting the job done.
Kendall Kemp, that 6'6" size. Auburn, this is one of the few times we've seen them been able to run their middles in this third set.
Warman the serve. From the middle blocked. The point Gamecocks. Ellie Ruprecht gets the kill.
Here's another thing to consider, Danny. Auburn, the side of the court they're on, the band is right behind where they're serving from. And you talked about all the service errors in this set. That is definitely a factor.
The band can play a factor one way or another. I mean, they have been providing the tunes inside the Carolina Volleyball Center and just makes for an electric atmosphere. You always got to watch out for the band. Served by Bissler. Near side sheer, far side, excuse me, but it's a block for the Gamecocks.
Nice job. South Carolina, Campbell Paris, and Ellie Ruprecht teaming up to turn back the look from Sheer. Nice job shooting those hands over.
Jump serve from Bissler. Sheer, that time connects.
I've been so impressed the next point mentality of Madison Sheer. She makes an error, it gets blocked the point before, and comes right back attacking that block.
You have to, because if you get into your own head, then the other team starts to go on a run. That's what we've seen from South Carolina earlier in this set. Now the Tigers trying to find some momentum again. Down by 3, near side attack blocked. Still in play. Whiteside's run down, oh my goodness. Off of Morton, but it's a free ball. Another block up front. Point Gamecocks. Campbell Paris with the kill.
Auburn, they gotta cover that better. That ball, somebody should have got into it off of that block touch. That Auburn block working really hard right now to touch a lot of balls, but nobody comes over to cover it. It's a complete miscommunication defensively.
Campbell Paris, 3 kills in this set alone. Another rotation for the Gamecocks. McElveen back in. Unique change here from Coach Mendoza, having her close it out. Service error.
You talk about high pressure situation to come in as a serving sub in that moment. When you, as you said, you've only played 5 sets this year.
And now she'll check back out. It was a nice try because McElveen helped win the second set for the Gamecocks in those serves. Here's Zoe Slaughter for Auburn. And an ace!
That flat serve, again, it's clearing the top of the tape by about 2 inches.
Auburn, no timeouts in this set. South Carolina with 1. Slaughter to serve again. Setting up for Johnson, blocked. Point Gamecocks, and rather it's Paris again.
Natasha Anderson, she was mad at herself. She knew she had the block. She just did not turn those hands inward back into the court. It allowed Paris Campbell to point score.
Kiyun Fletcher back in for the Gamecocks. She's up in front with Abby and Nadi. Their blocking has really helped in this set. Kimmy Thompson serving. Anderson dug out in the back by Bissler. Whiteside trying to punch it over the tape, can't get it through. Point Tigers.
It was a nice effort, but literally Riley Whiteside was hitting that from the chair of where the R1 is.
Weird angle too. Morton to serve. Near side, Whiteside, set point Gamecocks.
Whiteside, so pinpoint on her placement on that cross-court look. Just understands where the holes in this Auburn defense is and go slicing it right by Sarah Morton.
Fans on their feet. Set point South Carolina. Inside, Zimmerman, no. Bump set from Carter to Johnson. Out. Auburn still alive.
It is so loud in here.
Still set point Gamecocks. Service error from Zimmerman, and the South Carolina Gamecocks lead 2-1. Set 3 winning 25-22. Set 4 coming up. The Gamecocks look to close it out when we come back on ESPNU.
Passes.
The Gamecocks are 3-1 this season when they're up 2-1, and having a home crowd advantage is welcoming for the Gamecocks, especially considering that they had 7 games on the road before returning home inside the Carolina Volleyball Center.
South Carolina went 2-5 in that 7-game road stretch. And keep in mind, too, Gamecocks, their first 3 matches of SEC season on the road. So it has been huge to get back here in Carolina Volleyball Center, where you have a huge energy advantage, the loudness of this crowd, the smallness of this gym. It is a real thing.
A challenging first couple of games in conference play for South Carolina. Lost in 3 sets to Arkansas, 4 sets to Missouri, 5 sets to Ole Miss, and then returning home a 4-set loss to Florida. But that could change as set 4 is underway, but it's an ace by Akasha Anderson. She's going to be the one to keep the Tigers close in this match, Kelly.
Akasha Anderson, she has served the ball well here today. Her second ace of this match.
13 kills, rather 12 kills so far tonight. Serving again, Whitesides receives. Fletcher attacks. Oh, great punch in the air by Morton. Madison Shear finds space. Point Tigers.
Nice off-speed look from Madison Shear. Rather than going with a big rep, goes to the roll shot.
Shear getting 10 kills, her 12th time this season with 10 or more.
Shear, she's just been so efficient as of late. 2 straight matches hitting over 400.
Float serve by Anderson. Kelly, you talked about these serves, how they go straight down.
Well, did you see, too? That was a change-up look from what Akasha Anderson had done the last couple of points. She went with a lot more pace the first 2 points.
9 aces on the day for the Tigers. Carter receives. Thompson setting up Paris. And the Gamecocks on the board in the 4th set.
Riley Whitesides, anytime South Carolina needs a side out, she's the go-to offense. So that fast arm, so hard to get a block up against how quick her arm is.
Setting up from the middle, Anderson, rather Shear the tip. Madison Shear starting to come alive in set 4.
Madison Shear making the adjustment to the South Carolina defense. She's gone to 2 straight off-speed looks and is fooling the Gamecocks defense right now.
Served by Morton. On the far side, Johnson, point Gamecocks. Elena Johnson has been the 3rd or 4th option for the Gamecocks today.
Elena Johnson, she's had some inconsistency this season, but she has been a steadying factor in the South Carolina offense the last 2 sets.
We're starting to see a group effort here for the Gamecocks today. Fletcher with 9 kills, Johnson with 8, Harris with 7. Anderson, her attack is long, and South Carolina within 1.
That look from that right back position for Akasha Anderson, that's a look that has traditionally worked for Auburn. Had a lot of success against Florida with it.
Served by Carter. Barrett, the set, the attack by Anderson blocked. Elena Johnson defensively getting the job done, ties it up at 4.
Really great read by Elena Johnson. Saw that ball going back to zone 1. Akasha Anderson on that back row attack, and Johnson timing up her jump perfectly on the denial.
How about the solo block that time from Johnson, too?
Second one we've seen from her.
Near side, Shear. Point Tigers.
Love, keep feeding the ball to Madison Shear anytime you can on that left side. She's getting in a rhythm here in this 4th set.
I mean, it seems like that the Tigers are going to Shear more when it's gut check time, when you need everybody to step up, trying to use all the arms that you can. 3rd kill this set for Shear. Low reception by Carter. Fletcher. No, dug out by Anderson. Shear from inside 10 feet, saved by Thompson. Johnson attacks. Dug out by Anderson. Misdirection, turned into a violation. Point Gamecocks.
Contact. It looks like Jackie Bear was a little unsure of what she wanted to do there, if she was going to try that, to set that ball because it was close to the net.
So rotations for the Gamecocks. Claire Wilson and Campbell Paris back in together. It's a unique thing about the 6-2 to see which center pairs up with the outside hitters. The service error. Point Tigers. All three of our sets so far, Kelly, have been so close, neck and neck.
Back and forth. Point for point almost at times.
I mean, every set decided by 2 to 3 points. Paris, no. The bump set to Anderson. Carter kept that one up. Overpass blocked. On the far side, Zimmerman. Point Tigers. What a rally that was.
Big time swing from Belle Zimmerman, absolutely ensuring that ball was not going to be returned.
Goodness gracious. It seems like every serve and point just gets longer and longer the deeper we go. Here's the bump set to Johnson, denied. Carter saves it. Wilson this time going to Campbell Paris, and it's going to be a point for the Gamecocks.
And just a hitting error by Campbell Paris. She actually had a seam in that block to work with, but April just goes off that hand, and nice job by Auburn.
Jump serve from Bissler off the tape. Zimmerman was ready. She'll attack as well. Oh, is that saved off the foot of Wilson? Oh my goodness, the ball is still in play. Zimmerman, overpass. From the middle, point Tigers.
How about Kyla Swanson going to the left hand that time, totally faking out the defense.
I want to go back to the dig off the foot of Claire Wilson. Oh my goodness.
I don't even think Claire Wilson realized she dug that ball with her foot.
Wow. No words. Impressive
You didn't
stuff.
know you were going to call a little bit of soccer today, did you?
I had no idea. From the middle, another great dig, this time from Auburn. Whitesides, blocked.
Big time stuff. Kendall Kemp and Zimmerman on that right side, and what a wall they're picking up. All 6'6". Nice job shooting the hands and pressing over.
I wonder what philosophical story Coach Crouch told his team during the break. Auburn in control, 9-6 in the fourth set.
No Aristotle needed.
Bump set by Carter. Whiteside swings, dug out. Anderson blocked. Point Gamecocks.
South Carolina's block, just waiting. Super tight ball to the net. Easy stuff for the Gamecocks.
Now starting to find that momentum again. Ellie Ruprecht in the serve. Steve by Anderson. Zimmerman, no look there. Anderson with the right hand. Was there a touch? Yes. Point Tigers.
Auburn having success finding the hands of the South Carolina block.
Anderson getting back involved. 13th kill tonight.
Her and Riley Whiteside's neck and neck.
Zimmerman serving. Set up for Anabi. No. Joust. Won by Auburn.
It's always that player that gets to the ball second that wins that joust.
Jackie Barrett has just been electric for the Tigers in this match. And 33 assists and also 6 digs, 6 blocks as well. Oh, and what a block on the outside, but it's a point for the Gamecocks.
Campbell Paris taking what that block is giving her. It's not quite close to the antenna. Able to find the seam in it. Her development continues as a freshman.
Kimmy Thompson in to serve, one of the two setters in the 6-2 rotation. off the tape, and it caught Barrett off guard. Point Gamecocks.
Not only caught Barrett off guard, caught Kendall Kemp. Her back totally turned to this ball on the let serve. Look at Kemp's like, oh.
Barrett was just trying to get in system. Barrett the set, running in Zimmerman, stopped by Fletcher. Bump set to Whitesides, cross shot, can't get it over. Point Tigers.
A rare hitting error from Riley Whitesides. That might have been one of the few we've seen from her today.
That was the sixth attacking error. Whiteside still hitting at a high clip at 250. South Carolina overall hitting at 243. Just 143 in this fourth set. Thompson to Fletcher. Sent back over. Oh, miscommunication there by the Gamecocks. Point Auburn. And it seems like the mistakes from South Carolina are hurting themselves here, Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely. Defense still scrappy, but too many costly mistakes. Auburn starting to find a little bit better offensive rhythm.
Finding some breathing room. Anderson to serve. Fletcher attacks, and she connects. Point Gamecocks.
Fletcher, a slightly different look. You're expecting a big rip from her on that right side, and just lofts it into the block. And able to mistime it up.
Whiteside's back to serve. Barrett runs over the bump set to Shear. Dug out by Carter. Punched over. No luck that time for the Gamecocks. Shear tries. She's denied. The poke this time from Shear. No. Bump set to Fletcher. Point Gamecocks. Miscommunication from the Tigers.
And the defense out of position. And that right side attack continues to find a lot of success for South Carolina. He and Fletcher, double-digit kills now. Sneaking it inside that block.
Fourth time this season for Fletcher with double-digit kills. Shear, the poke, excuse me. In the middle of Nabi, no. Shear, blocked. It's going to be a point for the Tigers.
A net violation looked like on Abianati.
Nadi that time couldn't get that one through. Auburn remained in control of set 4, 14-11. Trying to force a fifth set here in Columbia. Johnson! Oh, great dig. Shear gets it off the hands. Great stop from Morgan Carter. Johnson again. Point Gamecocks.
Got the fingertips of that Auburn block. South Carolina just won't go away.
Sophomore Elena Johnson, 9 kills on the night. Here's Anderson on the far side. No, dug out by Thompson. Fletcher from inside 10 feet. Great up by Anderson. Shear. Point Tigers.
Madison Shear continues to do a great job finding the hands of that South Carolina block. And so tough as a defender if you're the Gamecocks trying to figure out how that ball is going to come off of the fingertips.
Shear now leading the Tigers with 14 kills, hitting at 440, and South Carolina will call a timeout. Auburn trying to hang out in set 4. They lead 15-12 here on ESPNU.
Auburn to put a 4-point cushion.
Bump set from Thompson. Fletcher found a way to get that attack.
And that was a completely broken play. Out of system ball that set for Fletcher way behind her. She was just trying to get it up and over. And Auburn's defense couldn't cover. Watch this shot. She's falling backwards as she's hitting it. And nobody covers the off-speed look.
Okay, Fletcher leaning back like Odell to keep that ball in play. What a kill. Barrett setting up Shear, and that's a response for Auburn. Madison Shear with 15 kills.
And so much tempo to that right side. Sheer fast arm already and completely beating the block. Had all sorts of daylight to that antenna open.
Sheer with 6 kills this set. She woke up after those first 3.
Always smiling too.
Paige Diebold on the serve from the middle. Oh, Diebold found a way to keep it alive. Free ball sent over by Anderson. Near side blocked. Point Tigers.
Auburn's block doing a really nice job shooting and pressing those hands low over the net. And South Carolina's not able to tool off of it to point score like we saw early in this match.
It is a block. Amazing conversations on ESPN2. Play resumes out of the South Carolina timeout, down by 5. And Paris Campbell gets the kill. Campbell-Paris, point Gamecocks.
Campbell-Paris, I've been really impressed with her efficiency today. She's just a freshman, but she's taking aggressive swings against that Auburn block.
A 6'5" freshman, mind you. I mean, if she gets her play correct and continues to develop, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the SEC.
Already double-digit kills in this match.
That attack out by Zimmerman. Point Gamecocks back within 3. Oh, and the Tigers couldn't keep that one up. It's an ace. And the Gamecocks within 2.
A little bit of almost defensive collision there on that left side.
Coach Crouch wasting no time, calling a timeout. The first for Auburn in this set. Been rambunctious throughout this game and really just elevated to a different level in set 2 when the Gamecocks won that second set. Out of the timeout. From the middle, and the Tigers continuing to roll in set 4.
Really nice job of the senior Jackie Barrett rescuing that set. That was super tight, that first ball to the net, and she was able to put it up to where Kyla Swanson got a really nice look from the middle.
And the Tigers keep this momentum going and send this match to a decisive 5th set. Served by Harmon. Bump set, Paris, no. Wilson, the white side's the poke. Great save. Anderson to the back row, nice dig. White side, got it.
White side just reads that block so well. There was a giant hole in it, had it closed. And Whiteside's great placement on that shot. It's a quick shoot set and takes full advantage with that cross-court look.
Riley Whiteside's keeping this game close. Her 14th kill of the match. So look at this. McElveen back in the serve for the Gamecocks. Far side. Oh, great save in the back by McElveen. Free ball for the Tigers. Barrett to the middle. Kick denied. 1 point set.
That's a big time block too. You're going against 6'6" on the 31. A very efficient set to the middle and able to turn back Kendall Kemp.
Tide starting to turn. McElveen back to serve again. 5-1 run for the Gamecocks. Far side tip. Still in play. Free ball. Barrett. Far side, and that time the cross shot works out.
Really nice job and read by Belle Zimmerman. Seeing and where that block was positioned, there was a hole in the seam and able to go off the inside hand of the outside blocker.
Beautiful cross shot there by Zimmerman, now with 9 kills on the night. Back to serve for the Tigers. Oh, a Nadi. No. Anderson, the poke. Stopped by Whiteside with the dig. Paris hit the pin. 1 point set again for the Gamecocks.
If I'm South Carolina, I'm going to continue to set Campbell Paris until Auburn can show me that they can block that ball.
Right now, the 1-2 punch of Campbell Paris and Riley Whitesides helping the Gamecocks get back in this fourth set. No violation. We play on. Anati ties it up. Coach Crouch immediately going to challenge. Where is that challenge card at?
Everybody on our side keeps looking for it.
Well, instead of a challenge, it's going to be a timeout for the Tigers. And we are getting down to the nitty-gritty.
And I believe they're challenging a net fault.
We are tied at 20 in set 4. And, well, the fans are having a great time inside the Carolina Volleyball Center. Play resumes. We're tied at 20 in set 4. Kimmy Thompson to serve. Kendall Kemp. No. Dug out by Carter. Free ball sent over by Bissler. And that time, Kendall Kemp, the huge response.
And a different look. We have not seen that from Kendall Kemp. We're going to have a challenge here for sure on whether that ball is in or out.
Tom Mendoza wasted no time. I didn't even see it was a challenge.
We just put up the signal for number 2, which is whether that ball is in or out.
That's some of the new communication rules for the officials to help us out to see what is being challenged. And a wise decision to use your second and final challenge in a crucial point where you're trying to win the match, Kelly.
Yeah, and you're also looking too here whether potentially that ball even hit the antenna, but
still a forceful attack from Kendall Kemp there.
Yeah, very forceful attack. And the players of South Carolina, Riley Whitesides, you saw her do the little ring up signal. That when they do that, it's trying to signal, hey, this ball hit the antenna.
Call stands. It'll be a point for Auburn. So now Coach Mendoza out of challenges here. They'll get more in the 5th set. If it goes to a 5th set.
Which is
big if.
We're back in a 1-point situation.
Right. South Carolina has yet to lead in set 4 as well, and they're so close. Anderson serves. In the middle, Anati blocked. Whitesides denied, but it's out. And we're tied at 21.
Whiteside, she does such a nice job of finding those hands. And that Auburn block, they had shot those hands over, but they hadn't turned them and flexed them back in towards the inner part of the court.
Riley Whitesides back to serve. Service error. Auburn retakes the lead.
Service error number 7 for the Gamecocks.
There's Sarah Morton serving for Auburn. Bump set to Johnson, and we're tied again.
South Carolina having a lot of success right now, tooling that block. That's Elena Johnson. And even the hands were turned inward there, but just hadn't sealed off to the tape.
Here's Morgan Carter. In the air, bump set by Shear. Anderson, the attack. Carter sets up. Johnson denied. And Auburn, these forceful blocks have kept them in this match.
There's the adjustment of that block that time. Complete denial. Nice job shooting those hands over low. No chance you can tool that. Nice adjustment. Jackie Barrett, Kyla Swanson.
Low reception by Whitesides. Attack by Johnson, no good. The tip by Shear. Thompson to Fletcher blocked. Johnson will try again. Oh, great up. The free ball. Near side, Fletcher got it through. Tied it to 23.
That right side cross-court look continues to work for South Carolina. And Auburn has to make the adjustment of taking away that inside look of the block. Fletcher, we've seen Campbell Paris have a lot of success with it.
South Carolina just won't go away. They want that first conference win in a bad way. Far side attack, Shear makes it set point Tigers.
Madison Shear coming with all kinds of power.
D-ball will come in to serve. Can Auburn send this to a fifth set? Johnson out! And we are going to a fifth set. Auburn takes set 4, 25-23. What a battle we have in Columbia. Set 5, and both losing a 5-set match in SEC play. For Auburn, it was in their first crack against Florida. They lost in 5 sets at home.
I've actually felt like they should have won.
Absolutely, and for South Carolina, a 5-set loss at Ole Miss, part of that 7-game road trip. It was actually the last game of that 7-game road trip. South Carolina looking for their first win in conference this season. We begin set 5. Fletcher attacks. Barrett setting up Shear. No, and it drops out. Auburn takes the first point.
Madison Shear continues to make such smart shots. Knows when to tool off the fingertips. Up to 17 kills in the time. And as a left side, she's hitting 483. That's absurd.
It seems like it took some time throughout the match for Shear to warm up and get involved offensively for the Tigers. Whiteside's too strong of an attack. Point Tigers.
Riley Whitesides, we haven't seen her make a lot of attack errors, just 7 in this entire match, but she has that fast arm just a little bit too much on it. Didn't get any piece of that block.
Tom Mendoza making the right decision, going with her senior leader in Whitesides to try to get some points. Bump set by Carter. Whiteside swings again. Dug high in the air by Morton. Sheer block, sent straight down by Anati.
Really nice block setup by South Carolina. Understood it was an out-of-system ball going to the left side, allowed them to perfectly time up their jump and hand placement.
Anati getting South Carolina their 9th block in this match. Whiteside's a serve. Morton receives. Running in Anderson, too strong, and we're tied at 2.
That back row attack, Auburn's gone to it several times tonight, just hasn't been able to hit it with efficiency today.
Whiteside's attack error. Auburn retakes the lead. The service error, excuse me.
Number 8 for South Carolina.
That's the one big difference. Notice how Auburn has yet to have a service error in quite some time.
The service game much back on for Auburn. Been very aggressive.
Johnson, no. Send back the Gamecocks' way. Fletcher swings. Point Gamecocks.
The cross-court look, it continues to work for South Carolina. I love the decision to go to Fletcher on that right side, cutting it inside that block. The block's taking away the line. She's taking what the defense is giving her. Keyoon
Fletcher, 14 kills, has really intensified her game as of late. Near side, Shear found an open spot in the back row, and Madison Shear, her 18th kill, a season high.
Fast tempo ball to the pin, the quick arm of Madison Shear, able to terminate before that block and even get a piece of it.
What a weekend it's been for the sophomore Shear. She may be in contention for SEC Player of the Week. Off the tape, still a play. Fletcher, oh, Anderson, great dig. Shear, no. From the middle, Anderson, the dig, saved by Morton. Free ball for the Gamecocks. Thompson, the Johnson, out. Auburn a 5-3 start in the 5th set.
And Elena Johnson and Riley Whiteside, they haven't quite been able to find their range here in this fifth set so far on that left side.
Auburn had a scare early, losing sets 2 and 3. They have the momentum right now. Fletcher denied!
Nice job of reading that set. Shear teaming up with Swanson on the denial. Fletcher hasn't been stopped a lot today from that right side. Great job shooting those hands over. Auburn out to a fast start in fifth set.
What Tom Mendoza wants to do for the Gamecocks, within 2 in this fifth set. Running in is Zimmerman, found space in the back, point Tigers.
Zimmerman, we haven't called her name in a while. Really nice job, that left side attack, finding the high hands of that South Carolina block.
Zimmerman getting back involved now in double-digit kills alongside Madison Shear and Natasha Anderson. You could tell that Coach Crouch switched the attacks up between Shear and Zimmerman throughout this match. Claire Wilson, the set to Campbell Paris, and that will be a point for the Gamecocks.
It's the right side. Again, the right side has worked all night for South Carolina when they've been able to find Campbell Paris or Fletcher.
Campbell Paris with 12 kills. Now 4 Gamecocks in double figures in scoring. The setup and the tip by Zimmerman, no good. Wilson to Whitesides. Bump set back, it was blocked. Another chance, Anderson found space up front, point Tigers.
Really nice change-up look from Akash Anderson. You're used to her coming with the big-time power in her arm, goes to the roll shot and really cuts that ball. This was a phenomenal shot, completely catches that defense. Morgan Carter, you see her fly in there at the last second, but not fast enough.
That angle that Anderson saw really made it effective.
And that's a hard shot to hit, too, to sharp cross like that. Really tough.
Well, both teams switching sides. For South Carolina, how can they stop this forceful attack from Auburn?
Well, it starts, South Carolina, when they've had success in this match, it's because they've been able to get Auburn out of system. They've served tough.
You still go to Riley Whitesides.
No doubt. Riley Whiteside, she is your most dependable hitter.
Whitesides lead the way with 15 kills. Also Keaton Fletcher, the senior, with 14 kills. Service error from the Tigers.
This is where South Carolina has to feast off the momentum. This big time side out. So you want to go to either Whitesides or trying to get that set if you can to the right side. Campbell Paris, it's been so efficient.
Once again, Elizabeth McElveen in the serve for the Gamecocks, excuse me. Anderson over the tape, still in play. And a block by the Tigers. And my goodness, this action back and forth has been just so electric, Kelly.
The Auburn block that time, they took away the inside look finally of Campbell Harris. Great job. The hand placement of Kendall Kemp, pressing those hands over.
That is the 9th block from Kendall Kemp today.
16th block from Auburn.
Almost got the Gamecocks out of system. Whitesides, no, dug out by Anderson. Anderson denied up front by Anati.
Abby Anati does such a nice job of putting up an absolute wall at the net. Huge momentum shifter, and look at the way those hands press towards the inner part of that court.
Anati being the spark plug for the Gamecocks in a close matchup. Kimmy Thompson back to serve. Barrett, and a great attack from Kendall Kemp. And the Tigers 5 points away from winning the match.
We haven't seen Auburn. This is just the second time we've seen Auburn go to that slide play for Kendall Kemp, because Kemp has been still working through coming back from an ankle injury. So tough ball to run on that ankle off of 1 foot, but it has been effective, and South Carolina hasn't been able to block it.
So thanks. Auburn has had some injuries that they've dealt with throughout the year. Only 2 times where they've had their full roster available for a match.
Still don't have it today. Right side Bella Bell out. And defensive specialist Random out too.
Thompson to Fletcher. Point Gamecocks.
Fletcher taking full advantage. Had a one-on-one matchup on that right side. You're going to point score every time.
Crowd fired up. That kid's having the time of his life. Can this memory live on with a win for the Gamecocks? Within 2. Shear on the attack, too long. It's a 1-point set.
Madison's here, she just got a little bit too much under that ball, and we have not seen her make hardly any mistakes in this match, just 4 hitting errors.
Whiteside's back to serve. And that is out. A service error from the Gamecocks, their 9th. And that's going to be a violation on the Gamecocks. Point Tigers.
So what is called is a back row attack, because Kimmy Thompson, so she's in the back row as a setter. South Carolina runs a 6-2, and they're going to say she crossed the plane of the net trying to save that ball. But Tom Mendoza,
monumental win, against the Florida Gators, their 2nd time through.
And if you can pull off this weekend where you sweep Florida and then come in here in South Carolina hostile environment and get out of here with a win, good on Auburn.
Play resumes. Near side, Johnson with the kill. Point Gamecocks.
It all started with the serve receive. Riley Whiteside's digging right to target. That allowed South Carolina to run that shoot set to the left pin.
Elena Johnson's been an unsung hero as well for the Gamecocks. She has 12 kills now. Almost an overpass. Bump set by Carter. Fletcher swings, block. Carter's there again. Johnson denied. Point Tigers.
How about Kyla Swanson doing work along the net as a middle blocker? She was clear over on the right side, had to laterally move so quick to that other side to turn back Elena Johnson.
Thompson to the middle. Oh, great dig by Morton. Far side attack, no. A great save by Anderson. Morton with it. Free ball for the Gamecocks. Fletcher, too long. Set point, match point Auburn.
How about the scrappiness of this? We've been talking all match about the scrappiness of the South Carolina defense. Auburn flying all over the floor to extend that rally.
It all comes down to this. Jackie Barrett back to serve for the Tigers. Fletcher, dug out by Barrett. Free ball. Fletcher a second time to tip, no good. Carter bump sets to Johnson, and the Gamecocks still alive.
Smart shot by Elena Johnson, going to the off-speed roll look, cuts it sharply across the court and completely fakes out that Auburn defense.
Still match point Tigers. Can the Gamecocks go on a rally? Claire Wilson on the serve. Shear, long, 2-point set.
And it just feels like South Carolina finds a way to find life late in sets when their backs are against the wall.
Timeout Tigers. You just need one.
And then try and find white sides or get that right side of your offense going.
Buckle up. Last chance for the Gamecocks. For South Carolina, Keegan Fletcher and Riley Whiteside's 15 kills apiece. Elena Johnson with 13, Campbell Paris with 12. But it's the senior Whitesides leading the way for the Gamecocks. Claire Wilson will serve for South Carolina.
Keep in mind, too, Whiteside, she's in the back row, too.
Oh, good recovery from the Tigers. From the middle. Sent back down. Oh, it's still alive. Recovery from Auburn. The attack. And now South Carolina within one.
Elena Johnson continues to come up with really big shots in the latter part of this match, especially been huge with Riley Whitesides playing in the back row right now.
It's all up to this. Near side sheer. And Auburn hang on and win in 5 sets. They take set 5, 15-3. What a win for the Tigers. They
तोरा याद में आंसुआ बहे छे दिलवा रोए जान गिरन तोरा याद में आंसुआ बहे छे दिलवा रोए जान
गंगाजल रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो महादेवगंज साहेबगंज
के करा सहारे रहबै के करा से तू बोलिया बोलबै अशोक अकेला के कहलू कि साथ न छोड़बै के करा सहारे रहबै के करा से तू बोलिया बोलबै अशोक अकेला के कहलू कि साथ न छोड़ब के रानी सोनी लागे आंसुआ गिरैले देहिया काप के लगे जा के रानी हमर अखिया से